Hey guys, so I'm back, and this time it's going to be the Flash episode, season 3, episode 10, Borrowing Problems from the Future. So in this episode, we actually get to uh, we actually get to see that um, Barry's having nightmares of the of the of the future because he keeps seeing Iris's death. Um, so then they go ahead and they actually um, there's this a villain who is known by Plunder or in the comics, and he is he is captured by Kid Flash. And he plunders. He he gets jewelry uh, from museums. So I thought that was really interesting. They are okay. So in this episode, they actually get Barry is really having doubts about Kid Flash. Well, not really doubts, but um, he he wants Wally to stay under his wing, so, like as mentoring, looking at what he does and mirroring him. So I thought that was really good. It's a good mentor kind of type deal. He um, so in the beginning he saves a police officer by because he was trapped and fire was coming all around this cop. So both Flash and Kid Flash save this cop, and then they um, or then they meet Plunder after a while, and he is really worried because of what happened in the future, and he wanted to get um, he wanted to get um, he didn't want to get Plunder because then that would set off the same events that would happen that would transpire in the um, in the future. So he didn't get him, but Kid Flash did. So what had happened then is that Kid Flash went ahead and he captured him, and then he Barry, as soon as they got back to Star Labs, Barry kind of like went off on Wally, saying that what was that? What was that, Wally? What was that? Like, why did you do that? Kind of type of deal. Because he didn't want to get him. So then we also get uh, we also get a little bit of uh, Killer Frost. Caitlin, she wanted to go to Julian to help him to she went to Julian so that she could get rid of his power, so that she could get rid of her powers. But Julian was being really mean to him, mean to her. I mean, that's what I meant to say. Is that he was being mean to her. So then he decided after a while, all right, I've I was being a jerk, and I need to atone for what I've done. So let me help you. So she also told him, maybe you should join the Flash's team, Team Flash. Um, so I thought that was really interesting, or how it would how it would go. So then Barry was asking HR about seeing if HR was was like any like if he wrote anything about if he wrote a book about the future, and basically HR explained it really well that yes, the future is can be changed, but sometimes it's kind of fixed. It's a fixed point, you know. Even though the future can be ever changing, but it can also not be ever changing. It can just stay on the course. So then that made Barry really worried. So then it was the night of the Star Labs museum, um, and then they wanted to get everything ready, and Jillian comes in, and they kind of got mad at, well, not mad at Caitlin, but they didn't know because she forgot to tell him, she forgot to tell them. So I thought that was really interesting. Um, there was also, what was really interesting was that um, that that Barry took Iris to the Time Vault where Eobard was in the first season, and so I thought that was really good. But he told her what had happened, and she got really upset. So then they told the group, and they didn't want to tell Joe because he would be devastated in a way. So then Barry asks, or tells Wells, or Wells tells Barry that if you had dominoes, and then he got some dominoes from Cisco, and then they set up a domino effect. If you take specific parts of the domino, think of the dominoes as a timeline. Um, you it is evident the future is evidently going to go to that one specific point of time. So if you take out specific parts of the domino, or the timeline parts of the parts of the timeline, you inevitably um, get you inevitably get the to stop the timeline, or not timeline, but change the timeline. And so I thought that was really good. So then they went ahead and they vibed to the future, and they pointed out specific points of the specific points of the timeline of the future. So, which was good. So then we get to hear that there's Music Meister, which was cool, and Gorilla City, or Gorilla Attack, which was really cool, and I think that's what's gonna happen in the two part two part episode and coming up in February 21st. So I thought that was really cool. Then there was just, and then they found out that there's HR on the building trying to find out what's happening. Why is he there? And he was listening to find out what HR wants to find out what he wants to find out what is listening to Savitar. So I thought that was really interesting. Which actually, I don't think it's the HR that is in this, and that is in Earth 1, but I think it's the HR of Earth 2, because they have different specifics. I think, to me, and that's my theory. But I think that's what's going to happen in the episode, or in the future episode. We'll find out that later. So then Kid Flash and the Flash, they both know that Plunder escaped, and they wanted to get Plunder. So they went to Central City Museum, which actually I actually looked at it another time. I actually looked it up. I actually looked at it a second time, and it was actually the Flash Museum. But in the future, because we got a glimpse of the Flash Museum, and that was the exact same museum. So I thought that was really cool. But that was the one point that I saw. So Kid Flash and Flash defeat Plunder, and Kid Flash takes Plunder down, and Plunder is captured by Kid Flash, which is now changed the one possible future, one point of the future, which is cool. I actually liked this episode. Hopefully you guys liked it as well. When it came out, hopefully 2 weeks ago. Stay tuned for the next episode, and catch you guys later.